Evan Brooks stood at the edge of the launch platform, staring at the vast blackness of space. The stars were distant, cold points of light, and he felt a shiver run through him. This was not fear, it was the weight of responsibility. He had been chosen as Earth's envoy to the Galactic Council, and his mission was simple in words, but impossible in reality. Make peace. Show the galaxy that humanity was ready to join the wider alliance and prove that humans could be trusted. He adjusted the strap of his uniform and took a deep breath. Around him, technicians moved quickly, checking systems, adjusting energy shields, and performing last-minute scans. His ship, the Starlight Voyager, gleamed in the artificial sunlight of the platform. It was small compared to the massive starships of the Council races, but it was fast and built for survival. "Evan, are you ready?" asked Commander Laura Price, one of the mission leaders stationed on Earth. Her voice came through the comm link. Calm, but firm. "I'm ready," Evan replied. "It's not about me. It's about Earth. I can do this." Laura nodded, even though he could not see her. "The Council does not know what humans can do. Remember that. Keep your head, speak clearly, and do not let anyone intimidate you." Evan nodded again. He looked around at the other crew members, engineers, navigators, and communications officers. All of them were quiet, giving him space. They trusted him to represent humanity, and the weight of that trust felt heavier than the suit he wore. The countdown began. 10, 9, 8. The engines hummed, resonating in the hull. 7, 6, 5. Evan closed his eyes for a brief moment. He thought of his family, his brother Daniel, and the people of Earth who were watching this moment unfold on live transmission. 3, 2, 1, ignition. The Starlight Voyager lifted from the platform, breaking through the thin atmosphere, and accelerated into space. Within minutes, Earth was a bright blue dot behind him. Ahead lay the void, and beyond it, the unknown judgment of the Council. Days passed in the quiet hum of the ship. Evan spent time studying Council reports, learning the customs of dozens of alien species. Some races were known to be peaceful, while others were aggressive and proud. He reviewed diplomatic strategies, memorized greetings in hundreds of alien languages, and kept track of Council politics. Every decision he made mattered. One wrong word could spark a war. Finally, the Council chamber came into view. It was a massive construct, floating in a neutral system, surrounded by countless smaller stations and defense satellites. The Council's seat of power looked like a crown of metal and energy, glowing softly against the black. Evan's ship approached carefully, broadcasting his peaceful intentions. He was greeted by alien officials as he docked. Tall beings with shimmering skin, creatures with many arms, and others that seemed almost made of light, all looked at him. They studied him carefully, whispering in their strange languages. Some looked curious, others suspicious. Evan was led into the Council chamber. The room was enormous, stretching as far as he could see. Hundreds of representatives from dozens of species were seated on floating platforms. The air was filled with a faint hum, the sound of energy shields keeping the chamber stable. He stepped forward and bowed slightly. Even though he was the only human, he felt no fear. He knew the importance of this moment. "Representatives of the Galactic Council," he began, his voice steady. "I come from Earth, a world once seen as isolated and primitive. We do not wish to fight. We wish to join your alliance, to share knowledge, and to build a future together." Some council members nodded, whispering among themselves. A few smiled faintly. But not everyone was pleased. From the back of the chamber, a group of Velkari rose. They were reptilian in appearance, with sharp eyes and scales that reflected the chamber's lights. Their leader, a tall Velkari named Carthon, stepped forward. "Peace?" he hissed. "Humans are dangerous. Their technology is rising faster than any other species. They cannot be trusted. We say, detain this human. He is a threat." Gasps echoed through the chamber. Many species did not want conflict. But Carthon's words carried weight. The Velkari had long been known for their cunning and influence. Evan raised a hand. I am here to talk, not to fight. Our people respect life and law. Do not judge us by fear. Judge us by our actions and intentions, the council murmured. A vote was taken in secret chambers, away from the human envoy. When the decision came, it was final. Without warning, the council ordered Evan's immediate execution. Shock froze him for a second. He could not believe it. He had come with peaceful intentions, prepared to negotiate, and now he was to die. Before he could respond, energy restraints fired from above. Evan's movements were stopped, and a silent beam of light swept over him. In an instant, he was gone. The execution was clean, efficient, and merciless. A signal confirming the act was broadcast to multiple star systems, including Earth. Back home, the President, Laura Price, Kevin Ward, and other leaders watched in horror as the feed showed the final moments of their envoy. Silence filled the room. No one spoke at first. Then the President, a man named Robert Clark, finally broke the quiet. They killed him, he said simply. They killed our envoy. Kevin Ward clenched his fists. This is an act of war. We cannot let this go unanswered. Laura Price spoke next, her voice steady despite the anger in her eyes. We have a protocol. It was made for a situation like this. The Annihilation Protocol. They must not know we have it. But it is ready. We will decide carefully, but we must respond. The leaders nodded. Earth had long prepared for threats from beyond the stars. They had hidden fleets, secret weapons, and advanced systems that the galaxy believed humanity did not possess. All of it was now ready to be used. Meanwhile, in space, the Council celebrated what they thought was a victory. They did not know that by executing Evan Brooks, they had awakened something the galaxy had never seen before. Humanity would not be intimidated. Humanity would not beg. Humanity would act. On Earth, engineers and officers worked quickly. Ships powered up, engines hummed, and fleets prepared to move. Commands were issued calmly, without panic, but with precision that reflected decades of preparation. Every human knew their role. Every commander knew the stakes. And yet, no one on Earth celebrated. They did not rejoice in revenge. They prepared for justice and for deterrence. They knew that the galaxy had underestimated humans, and now the moment had come to show the truth. As night fell over Earth, lights across cities glimmered, reflecting the quiet determination of billions. Families watched the feeds, unaware of the full scale of what was about to unfold. They only knew one thing. Humanity's envoy had been killed, and the world would not forget. Above the planet, satellites hummed, watching the stars. Somewhere beyond the Council's reach, the fleets waited. Engines ready, weapons armed, minds focused. A single message had been received, and it had changed everything. Evan Brooks was gone, but his mission had not failed. His death had ignited a response that the galaxy had never seen before. Humanity would rise, and the stars would remember. The first phase of Earth's plan began quietly, unseen by the Council, but unstoppable. A spark had been lit, and it would grow into a fire that none in the galaxy could ignore. Earth was quiet on the surface, but deep beneath its oceans and deserts, a storm of activity filled massive command centers. Humans moved quickly, calmly, and with precision. Every officer, every engineer, every soldier knew their role. This was not a war born of panic. It was a war born of justice and preparation. Commander Laura Price walked down the long corridor of the Central Command Hall. Screens lit the walls, showing hundreds of human ships leaving hidden bases across the planet. Some emerged from underground bays in deserts, others from spaceports hidden on islands, and a few even from massive orbital platforms. Are all fleets online? Laura asked, her voice steady as always. Yes, Commander, replied Ethan Cole, the chief engineer. All ships are powered, shields up, and engines ready. They will move on your order. Laura nodded. Good. Prepare the Silver Horizon. We lead this operation. The Silver Horizon was Earth's largest and most advanced ship. Sleek, silver-colored, and humming with quiet power, it represented the hidden strength humanity had spent decades developing. Its engines could bend space slightly, allowing it to arrive in distant systems faster than any known alien vessel. Its weapons could disable fleets without mass destruction, and its shields could absorb nearly any attack. But the Council did not know any of this. Captain Kevin Ward stood on the bridge of the Silver Horizon, watching the final pre-flight checks. All systems green, he reported. Shields stable. Weapons online. Engines at full capacity. Good, Laura replied. Humanity does not bluff. Remember that. We move with precision, not anger. But make no mistake. We will show the galaxy what they have underestimated. Below, engineers monitored thousands of ships. Every small fighter, every transport, every command vessel was connected through quantum networks. Orders could be sent instantly, and human fleets could act as one mind. Alien spies might have observed the fleets, but none could have understood the speed and coordination humans had built. On the day of departure, civilians across Earth watched transmissions from the command centers. News anchors spoke calmly. They did not reveal the full scale of the fleet, only that humanity was responding to the execution of its envoy. Families gathered, eyes glued to the screens, unaware of the true power waiting silently in the void. Meanwhile, Council worlds were unprepared. The Velkari and other Council factions celebrated what they believed was a victory. They had executed a human envoy, and they believed Earth would do nothing. They did not know that every human in the galaxy had been quietly waiting for this moment for decades. Evan Brooks' death had triggered the start of a plan known only to a few top leaders. Now, humanity would move to show that they were not a species to be underestimated. The fleets leapt into space. Human ships emerged from hidden points across the system, appearing like stars moving across the dark void. The Council outposts detected them too late. Thousands of vessels moved in perfect formation, shields glowing faintly as they approached Council territory. From the Council capital, sensors alerted leaders to the human movement. Panic began to spread. The Velkari insisted it was a bluff. They cannot have fleets like this, Carthon hissed. They have always seemed small and weak. This must be a diversion, but the data did not lie. Hundreds of human ships crossed Council space lanes, avoiding patrols with precision. No fleet had ever moved this way. Every alien race watching realized Earth had hidden something incredible. Captain Ward of the Silver Horizon sent the first message to the Council. His voice was calm, firm, and clear. Representatives of the Galactic Council, he said, we demand the remains of our envoy and a full explanation for his execution. Return what is rightfully ours, or we will act. This is your warning. The Council laughed at first. They believed humans were bluffing. Even with thousands of ships arriving, the Council thought no species could truly carry out a threat like the Annihilation Protocol. They were wrong. The first fleet the Council sent to intercept was a medium-sized strike force. It approached confidently, weapons ready. Humans allowed them to close in, then activated energy fields that disabled the alien vessel's engines. No shots were fired, yet every ship was immobilized. The Council leaders were stunned. Their fleets were completely powerless. Laura Price smiled faintly at the bridge of the Silver Horizon. Tell me again that we cannot show restraint, she said. We are not here to destroy. We are here to enforce consequences. Human ships moved with calm efficiency. They did not attack civilians or destroy planets. They only disabled military assets that could oppose them. Communication hubs were secured by small boarding parties led by skilled commanders like Alicia Brown and Ryan Porter. Their teams moved silently, using technology the Council had never seen. Energy nets, magnetic grapples, and handheld disruptors allowed humans to control Council soldiers without bloodshed. As humans advanced, panic spread through Council cities. Citizens saw ships appear without warning, fleets arriving faster than any known technology allowed. Stories of human precision and discipline spread quickly. Holo feeds showed humans disabling massive defense cannons using handheld devices. Alien pilots reported being paralyzed mid-flight by invisible forces. The Council attempted to respond diplomatically. Some races begged for a chance to negotiate. Others demanded the human fleets withdraw. But Earth's message remained clear. Humanity would not stop until justice was served. The execution of Evan Brooks had crossed a line. In the midst of this, secret documents emerged within the Council. Leaked by a Council spy, these files revealed that the Velkhari had plotted the execution long before Evan arrived. They had planned to start a war with humans, hoping to weaken rival species and increase their own power. When these files were shown to alien populations, outrage erupted. Citizens protested against the Velkhari and their allies. Some species withdrew support, refusing to fight alongside them. Carthon's influence began to crumble. The Council was divided, and humans had not even fired a shot. On Earth, the fleets continued their advance. Commands were precise. Movements perfect. Every human officer knew the importance of each action. No human celebrated. No one sought revenge for Evan's death. The goal was justice, not chaos. Captain Ward observed reports from multiple planets. "They are surrendering," he said quietly. "Many Council citizens are calling for the Velkhari leaders to step down. We do not even need to attack." Laura nodded. "That is the point. Humanity is not a species to be intimidated. Our strength is discipline, technology, and strategy. They will learn that we act when necessary, but only with purpose." Meanwhile, Daniel Brooks, Evan's younger brother, watched the transmissions. He felt sorrow and anger, but also pride. Humanity was showing the galaxy that it was capable of incredible things, and that no envoy's death would go unanswered. He knew that one day, justice would come for those who had killed his brother. Across the Council's territories, humans moved like a tide, occupying key positions, disabling dangerous fleets, and securing communication channels. Entire military forces were neutralized without bloodshed. The galaxy had never seen anything like this. Humans were no longer a species to be dismissed, and still, no human weapons had harmed civilians or destroyed planets. They had shown control, patience, and immense discipline. Their message was clear: humanity would act to enforce justice, but not recklessly. The Council now faced a choice: submit to justice and acknowledge their crimes, or continue to resist and face consequences they could not imagine. By the time the first Council leaders realized the scale of humanity's power, it was already too late. Human fleets were everywhere, coordinated, precise, and unstoppable. The galaxy had underestimated humans for centuries. That mistake would not be repeated. The Annihilation Protocol had begun. But it was not about destruction. It was about showing the truth. Humanity's fleets, technology, and strategy were far beyond what the Council expected. The galaxy would remember this day. And somewhere in the depths of space, the memory of Evan Brooks fueled every human commander, every officer, and every soldier. His death had ignited a response the galaxy could not ignore. Humanity was ready to take its place among the stars, and no one, not even the Council, would stand in the way. Part 3. The galaxy learns what humans can do. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Across Council space, the human fleets moved with unmatched speed and coordination. Worlds that had once dismissed Earth as a minor planet now trembled at the sight of thousands of human ships appearing seemingly out of nowhere. The news spread quickly, and fear began to ripple through every Council system. On the planet Zethra, a city of the Council's members watched the approaching human fleets from massive observation towers. Citizens gasped as the vessels appeared in precise formation, shields glowing faintly in the darkness of space. "How can a single species possess such strength?" whispered one Zethran elder. His voice trembled. "They must be gods to move like this." Carthon, the Velkhari leader, paced in his chamber, his scaled hands clenched into fists. "They are humans," he hissed. "How can they have fleets like this? This is impossible." His advisors trembled. They had believed humanity was weak, unorganized, and primitive compared to the Council's vast technologies. Now, that illusion was shattered. Every move the humans made was precise, calculated, and deadly in its efficiency. Captain Kevin Ward, aboard the Silver Horizon, monitored several Council outposts at once. Reports flowed in continuously, one by one. Council fleets, attempting to block human advances, were disabled. Their engines frozen by electromagnetic fields. Their weapons rendered useless. Not a single human life was lost. "Report," Laura Price said from the command bridge. "Outposts at Callian and Virene are secure," replied Lieutenant Nora Jameson. "Council forces are surrendering. But the Valkyrie still resist." Laura nodded. "Keep positions. But do not engage, unless necessary. Let them see what humans can do without shedding blood. Let them understand our control." Meanwhile, human ground teams began landing on Council planets. Alicia Brown led a team on the world of Marion, where a major communication hub had been guarded by heavily armed Council troops. Using portable energy nets and magnetic grapplers, the humans quickly subdued the defenders without firing a single shot. The alien soldiers stared in shock. How can they do this?" one of them asked, trembling. Alicia looked at him calmly. "We do what is necessary to stop violence. You have a choice: surrender peacefully or resist and face consequences. We prefer peace." Across the galaxy, similar operations unfolded. Human teams disabled military facilities, secured vital communication relays, and captured Council soldiers alive. Each victory spread fear, not chaos. The humans were showing restraint, but also unstoppable power. In the Council capital, panic grew. The citizens began questioning their leaders. How could the Valkyrie have executed the human envoy without knowing the full consequences? Why had the Council allowed this? Secret leaks added to the unrest. A Council spy released files showing that Carthon had planned the execution long before Evan Brooks arrived. The documents revealed that the Valkyrie intended to provoke a war with Earth to strengthen their political influence. The revelation sparked protests across Council worlds. Citizens demanded that the Valkyrie leaders be held accountable. Some species withdrew support entirely, refusing to fight alongside them. The balance of power within the Council began to crumble. On Earth, Daniel Brooks watched the news with his sister, Emily. They remembered Evan, their brother, their family. Daniel clenched his fists. They thought killing him would scare us. They thought they could break our spirit. Emily shook her head. They didn't know us. They never understood what humans are capable of. Meanwhile, the human fleets advanced. Each fleet moved with quiet efficiency, never striking civilians, never destroying infrastructure. They disabled military assets, ensuring the Council could not retaliate. The Valkyrie launched a counterattack, desperate to regain control. They deployed their most advanced vessels, hoping to trap the humans. But the humans anticipated every move. Using quantum sensors and predictive algorithms, they outmaneuvered the enemy, disabling the Valkyrie fleet before it could engage effectively. Captain Ward reported to Laura Price. "They are trying everything, but it is useless. They cannot match our coordination or technology." Laura nodded. "Let them see what happens when a species is underestimated. Let them understand that humans act with precision, not panic." In the chaos, human teams discovered evidence of Valkyrie manipulation across the Council. They found documents, encrypted communications, and secret weapons caches. Every revelation added to the growing distrust of the Valkyrie leadership. Daniel Brooks prepared for the next phase. He and a team of human operatives were assigned to infiltrate the Council capital and secure the final proof of the Valkyrie's plots. They moved quietly through space, arriving undetected by Council patrols. Inside the capital, they found files detailing the execution plan, showing how the Valkyrie had manipulated votes, bribed other factions, and silenced dissenters. The information was damning. As they transmitted the evidence to the humans and neutral Council members, protests erupted across Council cities. Citizens demanded that the Valkyrie step down. Carthon's authority was collapsing. His once feared name now invoked fear and anger. not respect. The human fleets held their positions, waiting. They had not fired a shot in anger, but their presence alone was enough to enforce compliance. Humanity's message was clear. The execution of Evan Brooks would not be tolerated, and those responsible would face justice. Across the galaxy, leaders of other council species began reaching out to humans. They offered assistance, hoping to mediate and prevent further escalation. Humanity accepted some help but remained in control. The humans had the power, and they would decide how it was used. On Marion, Alicia Brown reported to headquarters. All key installations are secure. Council forces are surrendering in large numbers. Civilians are safe. Resistance is minimal. Laura Price replied, "Excellent. Maintain positions. Let them see that our power is precise and measured. Humanity does not destroy without purpose. We act to protect and enforce justice." In the council chamber, Carthon realized the full scale of his mistake. The humans had anticipated every move, neutralized every fleet, and gained the support of council citizens. His influence was gone, and his plots were exposed. The galaxy had learned a painful lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. They were disciplined, strategic, and capable of overwhelming power without resorting to unnecessary destruction. Their restraint made them even more dangerous, for they acted with clarity and purpose. Daniel Brooks watched as the council crumbled. He thought of Evan, his brother. His death had sparked this response, but humanity's actions were not driven by vengeance. They were driven by justice, by the refusal to allow such crimes to go unpunished. The human fleets continued to hold strategic positions across council space. Communication hubs, military bases, and key transport routes were secured. Council leaders had little choice but to comply. The galaxy was changing. The council, once a symbol of power and control, was now fractured. Citizens questioned their leaders. Alliances were broken, and humanity, once underestimated, had proven that it was a force to be reckoned with. Captain Ward looked out of the bridge viewport, seeing the lights of council cities below. He spoke quietly to Laura Price. "They will never forget this day. The galaxy knows now what humans can do." Laura nodded. "And they will remember it for generations. Humanity has made its point without destroying lives. That is our strength." Far across space, the Velkari retreated, defeated and humiliated. Carthon's plans lay in ruins, and his influence was shattered. The humans had not sought revenge, but the galaxy had seen what humanity could do when provoked. Daniel Brooks stood with his team, preparing for the next phase. The final pieces of evidence had been gathered. The Velkari leaders who had executed Evan Brooks would be brought to justice. The council would be forced to acknowledge the truth, and in every corner of the galaxy, one message spread. Do not underestimate humans. They may seem ordinary, but their strength, discipline, and strategy are unmatched. They act with purpose, precision, and control, and they never forget injustice. Humanity had begun its rise among the stars. The galaxy would never be the same again.